3 days had passed since the capture of the Void Stalker. The humans spent most of that time sleeping. Their bodies needed to recover from the punishment they had endured. Sunwoo made sure everyone ate properly and stayed hydrated. He treated their blisters and sore muscles with careful attention. On the morning of the 4th day, a message arrived. Ambassador Yuna was requested to appear before the full Galactic Council. The other members of her team were invited as well. "What do you think they want?" Hannah asked as they prepared. "Could be anything," Yuna admitted. "Maybe they want to thank us officially. Maybe they want to study us. Maybe they changed their minds and want to arrest us." "Arrest us?" Minji looked worried. "For what?" "For making them look bad." Taiho was putting on his formal uniform. "We did what their best hunters couldn't do. Some people don't like being shown up." "Let's not assume the worst," Yuna said. "We'll find out soon enough." They made their way to the council chamber. It was a massive round room at the center of Station Vela. Seats rose in circles from a central platform, each row higher than the last. Hundreds of delegates from hundreds of species filled the room. When the humans entered, every conversation stopped. Thousands of alien eyes turned to watch them walk down the central aisle. Some looks were hostile. Some were curious. Many were something else entirely, something that might have been respect. Delegate Vorn met them at the edge of the platform. He looked different somehow. Less cold. Less distant. "Ambassador Yuna," he said formally. "Thank you for coming. The council wishes to address you directly." "We're honored," Yuna replied. She stepped onto the platform. Her team stayed behind, but she could feel their support. Whatever happened, they would face it together. A large alien sat in the highest seat, the speaker of the council. It had gray skin and eyes that seemed to hold ancient wisdom. When it spoke, its voice filled the entire chamber. "Ambassador Yuna of Earth, you and your people have done something remarkable. 3 days ago, you captured a creature that had killed our finest hunters. You did this without weapons, without special abilities, using nothing but your determination and endurance." The speaker paused. The chamber was completely silent. Before this event, your species was classified as a persistence-based endurance species. You were not recognized as hunters, not considered a threat, not given the respect that other species receive. Yuna said nothing. She waited. "That classification was a mistake," the speaker continued. "And today, we correct it." A holographic screen appeared in the air above the platform. It showed the Galactic database, the same database that listed over 10,000 hunter species. The same database that had dismissed humans as mere prey. "The Council has voted to create a new classification for your species," the speaker announced. "From this day forward, humans will be listed as Apex Persistence Predators." The words appeared on the screen in bright golden letters. Below them, a number appeared. 1. "You are not simply being added to the list of hunter species," the speaker said. "You are being placed at the very top. Number 1. The highest threat classification in the galaxy." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Some delegates shouted in protest. Others applauded. The noise grew until the speaker raised a hand for silence. "I know this decision is controversial," the speaker said. "Many of you believe it is excessive. After all, humans are physically weak compared to many species here. They have no natural weapons. They can be hurt. They can be killed." The speaker looked directly at Yuna. "But they cannot be stopped. They do not give up. They do not surrender. They will follow their enemy to the end of the galaxy if necessary. And that makes them the most dangerous predators of all." The chamber fell silent again. The speaker's words hung in the air like a challenge. "There is something else," the speaker continued. "The Void Stalker survived its capture. Our medical teams were able to save it. thanks to the efforts of your crew. This creature is valuable beyond measure, and you preserved it when you could have easily let it die." Commander Yera stood up from her seat. "The Council also wishes to offer the humans a permanent position in our security forces. Your hunting method is unique in the galaxy. It could be used to capture other dangerous creatures without killing them." Yuna thought carefully before responding. This was not what she had expected. She had prepared for criticism, maybe even punishment. "Not this. Thank you," she said finally. "This is a great honor. My crew and I will need time to consider your offer." "Of course," the speaker said. "Take all the time you need. But know that you are welcome on this station. Not as visitors, not as outsiders, but as partners, equals." The formal session ended. As the humans left the chamber, they were surrounded by aliens who wanted to speak with them. Some wanted to shake their hands. Others wanted to ask questions about human endurance. A few wanted to warn them that not everyone was happy about the reclassification. "You've made enemies today," a small, blue alien whispered to Yuna. "Some species don't. Like being pushed down the rankings." "We didn't do this for rankings," Yuna replied. "We did it to save lives." "That may be, but the result is the same. You've upset the balance of power in this galaxy. Things will change now." The alien disappeared into the crowd before Yuna could respond. That evening, the human team gathered in their new quarters. They had been moved to level 3, the same level where ambassadors from major powers lived. Their rooms were larger and more comfortable. The view from the windows showed the entire station spread out before them. "Wow," Taiho said, looking out at the stars. "We did it. We're officially the top predators in the galaxy." "It feels strange," Hana admitted. "A week ago, they thought we were nothing. Now they're afraid of us." "Not afraid," Sunwoo corrected. "Respectful." "There's a difference, is there?" Minji asked. "When Vorn looks at us now, I can see something in his eyes. It might be respect, but it might be fear." Yuna sat by the window, watching the ships come and go from the station. She thought about everything that had happened. The dismissal, the crisis, the hunt, the victory. "Maybe fear isn't bad," she said softly. Everyone turned to listen. When other species look at us, they see soft skin and slow bodies. They see beings without claws or venom. They think they know us. She paused. But now they know something else. They know that if they hurt us, we won't fight back immediately. We won't try to match their strength. She turned to face her team. "We'll follow them. We'll track them. We'll chase them across planets and through space stations and into the dark corners of the galaxy. We'll never stop. We'll never give up. And eventually, they'll fall. Not because we're stronger, but because we refuse to quit." The team was silent for a moment. Then Taiho laughed a real laugh, full of joy and pride. "That's terrifying," he said. "I love it. So what do we do now?" Minji asked. "Do we accept the commander's offer? Join their security force?" Yuna considered the question. "I think we do. But not just for them. For us. For Earth. We've proven ourselves today. But this is just the beginning. There's so much more we can do." "Like what?" Hannah asked. "Like showing the galaxy that humans aren't just good at chasing things. We're good at building, creating, solving problems that seem impossible." Yuna smiled. "That's our real gift. Not our bodies. Our minds. Our spirit." She stood up and looked at each member of her team. "We came to this station as nobody. Prey animals with tools. Now we're apex persistence predators. The most dangerous hunters in the galaxy." She paused. "Let's prove that we deserve that title. Not through violence. through everything else humans can do. Outside the window, the stars burned bright and endless. Billions of worlds waited to be explored. Trillions of beings waited to meet the strange creatures called humans. And somewhere in the database, a single line of text glowed golden against the darkness. Species, human classification. Apex persistence predator rank, 1 of 10, 047. The galaxy would never be the same again. The Void Stalker lay on the floor. It was still alive, but barely. Its body had stopped changing shape. Now it looked like a strange black animal, something between a large cat and a lizard. Its red eyes were half closed. Sunwoo approached it slowly, his medical scanner ready. Its core temperature is critical. The internal organs are failing from heat damage. It's dying. Can you save it? Yuna asked. The rest of the team looked at her with surprise. Minji touched the scratch on her arm. Why would we want to save it? This thing killed dozens of people. Because we're not killers, Yuna said simply. We're humans. We proved we could catch it. Now we prove we're better than it. She looked at Sunwoo. Can you help it? Sunwoo studied his scanner for a long moment. Then he nodded slowly. I can try. I'll need to bring its temperature down quickly. There might be some cooling units in the storage areas nearby. I'll get them, Taiho said. He was exhausted, but he was already moving. Hana went with him. While they waited, Yuna sat down on the floor near the creature. Her legs could not hold her anymore. 14 hours of walking and running had pushed her body to its absolute limit. The Void Stalker opened its eyes. It looked at her. There was no anger in its gaze anymore. No hunger. Just something else. Curiosity, maybe. Or confusion. You don't understand us, do you? Yuna said softly. You've never seen anything like us before. The creature made a small sound. It might have been a growl, but it sounded more like a sigh. In our world, you would have been the perfect predator. Fast, deadly, unstoppable. Nothing could match you in a fight. She smiled weakly. But my people learned a long time ago that there's more than one way to hunt. Taiho and Hana returned with 3 cooling units. They placed them around the creature. Cold air began to flow over its body. The Void Stalker's breathing became slower, calmer. Temperature is dropping, Sunwoo said. It might survive. Yuna nodded. She was too tired to feel proud. Too tired to feel anything except relief. An hour later, a door opened on the far side of the room. Aliens began to pour in. Scientists in protective suits. Security officers with weapons drawn. And at the front, Delegate Vorn and a group of council members. They stopped when they saw the scene before them. 6 humans, exhausted and dirty, sitting around a sleeping Void Stalker. The most dangerous creature in the galaxy had been captured. Not killed. Captured. Vorn approached slowly. His 3 eyes studied the humans with an expression that might have been respect. You did it, he said. His voice was different now, softer. You actually did it. We did, Yuna said. She stood up slowly, her muscles protesting with every movement. The creature is alive, but needs medical attention. Its body nearly shut down from overheating. Overheating? One of the scientists stepped forward. That's impossible. The Void Stalker is designed for short, intense hunts. It shouldn't overheat during normal activity. It wasn't normal activity, Taiho said. We didn't let it rest. We followed it for 14 hours straight. Every time it stopped, we caught up. Every time it tried to hide, we found it. We never attacked. We just kept coming. The aliens looked at each other. They didn't understand. You chased it? Another council member asked. For 14 hours? Without stopping? Yes, but why didn't you ambush it? Why didn't you attack when it was weak? Hana laughed. It came out as a tired croak. Because that's not how humans hunt. We don't need claws or fangs or venom. We have something better. What? Vorn asked. We never stop. Silence filled the room. The aliens stared at the humans with new eyes. They had watched the chase on their screens, but they hadn't really understood what they were seeing. Now they were beginning to. A tall alien with silver skin stepped forward. She wore a uniform covered in medals, clearly someone important. I am Commander Yara of the Galactic Security Force. I have been watching your hunt. Commander, Yuna acknowledged her with a nod. In 300 years of service, I have never seen anything like what you did today. 3 teams of our best hunters failed in minutes. You succeeded in hours, and you did it without killing. She looked at the sleeping Void Stalker. Do you know how valuable this creature is? It's the last of its kind. Scientists have been studying it for years, trying to understand its abilities. When it escaped, we thought we would have to destroy it. You found another way. We tried to, Yuna said. Whether it survives depends on your doctors now. Commander Yara nodded. She gestured to the scientists. They rushed forward with medical equipment, surrounding the creature with careful efficiency. Vorn had not moved. He stood apart from the others, still watching the humans. I owe you an apology, he said finally. Yuna raised an eyebrow. For what? For dismissing you. For calling you prey. For thinking you were unimportant. He paused. I was wrong. You weren't wrong about our biology, Yuna said. We are soft. We don't have natural weapons. We can't run as fast as your hunters or fight as hard as your warriors. Then how did you do this? Yuna thought about it. How could she explain millions of years of evolution? How could she describe what it meant to be human? On our planet, she began slowly, there is a type of hunting called persistence hunting. Our ancestors used it to catch animals that were faster and stronger than them. They couldn't win a sprint, so they didn't sprint. They jogged. They walked. They followed their prey for hours, sometimes days, until the prey couldn't run anymore. She looked at the Void Stalker. Other species evolved to be fast, to be strong, to kill quickly. Humans evolved to never give up. We can walk all day. We can run for hours. We can push through pain and exhaustion that would stop any other creature. Not because our bodies are special, but because our minds refuse to quit. Vorn was silent for a long time. Around them, the other aliens listened. Some were recording her words on their devices. This changes everything, Vorn said at last. The database, the classifications, everything we thought we knew about hunting and predation. Maybe it's time to update your database, Taiho suggested. A small smile appeared on Vorn's face. It was the first time the humans had seen him smile. Yes, he said. Maybe it is. Commander Yara approached them again. You should rest. We will handle things from here. Your quarters will be upgraded to a better level. You have earned that much, at least. Thank you, Yuna said. The team began to walk toward the exit. Their steps were slow and unsteady, but they walked together, supporting each other when needed. As they left level 12, Minji looked back at the room full of aliens. Do you think they understand now? She asked. Some of them, Yuna said. The others will learn. And what about us? What do we do next? Yuna smiled. Despite her exhaustion, despite everything they had just survived, she felt hope. Real hope. We keep going, she said. That's what humans do. They walked through the station. This time, the other aliens did not laugh. They did not point or whisper. They watched with something new in their eyes. The 6 humans were still soft, still slow, still without natural weapons, but they had just done the impossible, and that was just the beginning. The door closed behind them with a heavy sound. Level 12 was dark. The emergency lights cast long red shadows across the walls. The air smelled wrong, like burnt metal and something else. Something alive. "Everyone check your equipment," Taiho said quietly. The team had prepared quickly but carefully. Each person carried water, energy food, and a small medical kit. They wore light clothes that would not slow them down. No heavy weapons. No armor. Just their bodies, and their old Hannah held a tracking device. It showed a map of the level with a single red dot moving slowly in the distance. "There," she said. "It's about 2 kilometers ahead. Moving toward the storage section." "How big is this level?" Yuna asked. "Huge. About 15 square kilometers. Lots of corridors, rooms, and open spaces. Perfect for a hunt." Sunwoo was checking his medical supplies. "I've prepared stimulant shots. They'll keep our energy up during the chase. We can go for about 20 hours before we need real rest." 20 hours, Minji repeated. "That's a long time." "That's the plan," Taiho said. "We don't stop. We don't rest. We keep pushing until that thing drops." They started moving. Their footsteps echoed in the empty corridors. The station's normal sounds were gone. No voices, no machines, nothing. Just silence and darkness. After 10 minutes, they found the first body. It was one of the Thornback warriors. The creature had torn it apart so completely that they could barely recognize what species it had been. Minji turned away. She looked sick. "Keep moving," Yuna said gently. "Don't look. Just focus on the mission." They continued forward. More bodies appeared along the way. Scientists, security guards, hunters who had come to kill the Void Stalker and found death instead. "It's efficient," Sunwoo observed. His voice was clinical, distant. "Quick kills. Minimum energy spent. This creature is highly intelligent. Can we really catch something this smart?" Hannah asked. "Smart doesn't matter," Taiho said. "Endurance matters. It can be the smartest creature in the galaxy. But if it can't run forever, it will fail." They walked for another hour. The red dot on Hana's tracker stayed ahead of them. It moved quickly sometimes, then stopped. Then moved again. "It knows we're following," Hana said. "Good," Taiho replied. "Let it know." They entered a large open area. It might have been a warehouse once. Huge containers were stacked against the walls. The ceiling was lost in darkness above them. Yuna held up her hand. Everyone stopped. "Something's wrong," she whispered. Air felt different here. Heavy. Electric. Like a storm was about to break. Then they saw it. The Void Stalker emerged. From the shadows like a nightmare coming to life. It was larger than they had expected, bigger than any animal on Earth. Its body shifted and changed as it moved, never holding the same shape for more than a second. Its red eyes fixed on the humans. For a moment, nothing moved. "Don't run," Yuna said. Her voice was steady, even though her heart was pounding. "Don't show fear." The creature tilted its head. It seemed curious, like it was studying them. Then it attacked. It moved faster than anything the humans had ever seen. One moment, it was across the room. The next moment, it was in front of Minji, claws extended to kill. But Minji was already moving. She dove to the side, rolling across the floor. The creature's claws missed her by centimeters. "Run!" Taiho shouted. They scattered. Not in panic, but with purpose. They had planned for this. If the creature attacked, they would separate, make it choose a target, and then regroup. The Void Stalker chose Taiho. It chased him through the warehouse with terrifying speed. But Taiho was fast too. He ran between containers, jumped over obstacles, used every trick he knew to stay ahead. After 30 seconds, the creature stopped. Its body was glowing with heat. It needed to rest. Tahoe stopped too, keeping a safe distance. He was breathing hard, but he was alive. Now, he said into his communicator. Everyone converge. The team came together from different directions. They surrounded the creature at a safe distance. The Void Stalker's red eyes moved from human to human. It seemed confused. Why weren't they running away? Move, Una commanded. They started walking. Not toward the creature, but past it. Slowly, steadily, keeping it in the center of their formation. The Void Stalker growled. It didn't like being surrounded. It charged at Hannah. Hannah turned and ran. But she didn't run to escape. She ran in a wide circle, drawing the creature away from the group. After 20 seconds of chasing, the creature stopped again. Overheating, Hannah stopped too. She was sweating but smiling. Come on, she called to the creature. Is that all you've got? The Void Stalker roared. The sound echoed through the entire level. It was angry now. Really angry. Good, Una thought. Angry creatures make mistakes. The pattern continued for the next 3 hours. The creature would attack. One human would lead it on a chase. When it stopped to rest, another human would take over. They worked in rotation, never giving the Void Stalker time to fully recover. By the 4th hour, the creature was moving slower. Its attacks were less precise. Its rest periods were getting longer. It's working, Samu said. He was monitoring the creature's heat signature with his device. Its internal temperature is rising. It can't cool down fast enough. How much longer? Taiho asked. He was tired. They all were, but none of them showed it. Hard to say. Maybe 10 more hours. Maybe 15. Then we keep going. They kept going. Hour 6. The Void Stalker tried to escape. It ran through the corridors, searching for a place to hide. But the humans followed. Always following. Always there. Hour 8. The creature set an ambush. It hid in a dark room and waited for them to pass. But Hana's tracker showed its location. They simply walked around the room and continued on the other side. The creature had to move again. Hour 10. The Void Stalker attacked with desperation. It nearly caught Minji. Its claws tore through her jacket and scratched her arm. Sunwoo treated the wound while they walked. They didn't stop. The other species on Station Vela were watching. Cameras throughout Level 12 broadcast everything to the command center. Aliens who had laughed at the humans were now silent. They're still going, one delegate whispered. How is this possible? Their species developed on a planet with harsh conditions, another said. They evolved to travel long distances. But this is something else. Delegate Vaughan said nothing. He just watched. His 3 eyes never left the screens. Hour 12. The Void Stalker was staggering. Its body flickered between shapes uncontrollably. It was dying from the inside. Its own heat was cooking it alive. But the humans kept walking. Their feet were blistered. Their muscles screamed with pain. Their minds were foggy with exhaustion. But they didn't stop. They couldn't stop. They were humans. This was what they were born to do. 1 more hour, Una said. Her voice was rough and dry. Just 1 more hour. We can do this. They had been walking and running for 12 hours straight. Most species in the galaxy would have collapsed after 2. The registered hunters who tried to fight the Void Stalker had given up after 30 minutes of combat. But humans didn't fight. They followed. And they never, ever stopped. The Void Stalker turned to face them one last time. Its red eyes were dim now. Its movements were slow and clumsy. It tried to roar, but only a weak sound came out. Then it fell. The most dangerous predator in the galaxy collapsed on the cold floor of Station Vela, not because it was defeated in battle, not because it was outfought or outsmarted, but because it simply could not run anymore. The humans stood over it, breathing hard, covered in sweat and dust. They had won. The ship was small compared to the massive vessels that floated around Station Vela. It was gray and simple, with no weapons visible on its surface. The aliens who watched it dock did not pay much attention. They had seen thousands of ships before. This one did not look special. Inside the ship, Ambassador Una stood near the main door. She wore a simple black uniform with a small flag on her shoulder. Her heart was beating fast, but her face showed nothing. This was the most important day of her life. Humans were finally meeting the Galactic Council. "Are you ready?" asked Captain Taiho. He stood behind her with 5 other crew members. They were all nervous, but they tried not to show it. "I was born ready," Una said with a small smile. "Let's go make some friends." The door opened with a soft sound. Bright light filled the entrance. Una took a deep breath and stepped forward. Station Vila was enormous. The ceiling was so high that Una could not see it clearly. Thousands of aliens walked in every direction. Some were tall and thin. Some were short and wide. Some had 4 legs. Some had 8. Colors and shapes that Una had never imagined filled her eyes. A creature approached them. It was blue and had 3 eyes arranged in a triangle on its face. It wore silver clothes that looked very expensive. "Welcome to Station Vila," the creature said. Its voice was flat and cold. "I am Delegate Vorn. I will take you to the registration center." "Thank you," Una said politely. "We are honored to be here." Vorn did not respond. He simply turned and started walking. The humans followed Dot as they walked through the station. Una noticed something strange. The other aliens were looking at them. Some whispered to each other. Some pointed. But none of them looked impressed. They looked amused, like they were watching something funny. "Why are they staring at us?" whispered Hannah, one of the crew members. She was young and had sharp eyes that noticed everything. "I don't know," Una whispered back. "Just stay calm." They arrived at a large building with no windows. Inside, there were hundreds of screens covering the walls. Aliens sat at desks, typing on strange devices. The room was full of noise. "This is the classification center," Vorn said. "Every species that joins the council must be registered in the galactic database. Your biology, your history, your abilities, everything will be recorded." He led them to a desk where a small green alien sat. The alien had large eyes and very small hands. "New species?" the green alien asked without looking up. "Yes," Vorn said. "They call themselves humans. From a planet called Earth." The green alien typed something. A large screen appeared in the air in front of them. It showed information about Earth, its location, its size, its atmosphere. "Interesting," the green alien said. "Your planet is quite far from the center of the galaxy. How did you develop space travel?" "Hard work," Taiho said simply. The alien made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Let us check your classification." More information appeared on the screen. Una watched as the alien scrolled through data about human biology. Heart rate, muscle structure, brain capacity. Everything was measured and recorded. Then the screen changed. A single line of text appeared in bright red letters. Classification, persistence-based. Endurance species hunter status. Negative threat level. Low. The green alien looked at the screen. Then it looked at the humans. Then it looked back at the screen. "You are not hunters," it said slowly. "You have no natural weapons. No claws, no venom, no special senses. Your bodies are soft and weak." Una felt her face grow hot. "We have survived on our planet for thousands of years." "By running away?" "Yes," the alien said. "Your species developed endurance. You can move for long periods without stopping. This is useful for escaping predators, but it does not make you dangerous. Vorn stepped forward. The Galactic database contains information on over 10,000 hunter species. These are the species that matter in our galaxy. They are the warriors, the protectors, the ones who keep order. He looked at the humans with his 3 cold eyes. You are not on that list. You are classified as prey animals who learn to use tools. Nothing more. The words hit Yuna like a punch to the stomach. She wanted to argue. She wanted to tell them about human history, about the wars they had fought, the animals they had hunted, the challenges they had overcome. But she kept her mouth shut. Getting angry would not help. "We understand," she said quietly. Vorn nodded. "Good. You will be given quarters on level 7. That is where the non-combat species live. You will have limited access to the station. Do not cause trouble." He turned and walked away without another word. The humans stood in silence. Around them, other aliens continued their work. No one paid attention to them anymore. They were not interesting. They were not important. Did that just happen? Hannah asked. Her voice was shaking with anger. Yes, Yuna said. It did. Sunwoo, the medical officer, was looking at his device. I just accessed part of the database. They really do have a list of hunter species. 10,047, to be exact. Each one is ranked by danger level. And we're not on it, Taiho said. No, we're listed under endurance species, along with animals that just run from predators all day. Menji, the youngest member of the crew, kicked the ground in frustration. This is wrong. Humans are hunters. We hunted mammoths. We hunted whales. We're the reason dozens of species on Earth went extinct. They don't know that, Yuna said. They only looked at our biology. They saw that we don't have claws or fangs or venom. They decided we were harmless. So what do? Taiho asked. Yuna looked around the station. Thousands of aliens walked past them. Some were massive and terrifying. Some had natural weapons that could kill with one strike. All of them thought humans were weak. We wait, Yuna said. We watch. We learn. And when the time comes, we show them what humans really are. Taiho smiled. It was not a friendly smile. I like that plan. They walked toward level 7. The other aliens ignored them completely. After all, what threat could prey animals possibly pose? They had no idea what was coming. 3 weeks passed on Station Vela. The humans kept to themselves on level 7. They ate in the small food area assigned to them. They slept in their tiny rooms. They followed every rule that the council gave them. Yuna spent most of her time studying. She read everything she could find about the galaxy, the political systems, the different species, the history of conflicts and alliances. Knowledge was power, and she intended to gather as much as possible. Taiho trained with his crew every day. They ran through the corridors of level 7. They did exercises in their small gym. The other species on their level watched them with confusion. Why would prey animals train so hard? What were they preparing for? On the morning of the 22nd day, everything changed. Yuna was eating breakfast when the alarm started. Red lights flashed across the ceiling. A loud voice spoke in a language she did not understand. Then it repeated in the common tongue. Emergency. Emergency. All residents must remain in their quarters. Containment breach on level 12. Repeat. Containment breach on level 12. Hana ran into the eating area. Her face was pale. Ambassador, you need to see this. She held up her device. A video was playing on the screen. It showed a large room filled with cages. Scientists in protective suits were running in all directions. And in the center of the chaos was a creature. Yuna had never seen anything like it. It was black and moved like liquid shadow. It had no clear shape. One moment it looked like a wolf, the next moment like a spider. Its eyes glowed red in the darkness. "What is that?" Yuna asked. "They call it a void stalker," Hana said. "According to the database, it's one of the most dangerous predators in the galaxy. It was captured 10 years ago and kept in the research facility for study. And now it's loose. Yes, and it's already killed 300 teams that tried to stop it." Yuna felt cold. 3 teams? What kind of hunters? Hannah scrolled through her device. The first was a group of Thornback warriors. They're ranked in the top 500 hunters in the database. The Void Stalker killed all 6 of them in less than 2 minutes. She continued reading. The second team was made of flame claws. They can breathe fire and have armor-like skin. The creature killed them too. The third team was a mixed group of elite hunters from different species. Same result. Taiho appeared beside them. He had been listening. "So this thing is killing the best hunters in the galaxy." "It seems that way," Hana said. Sunwoo joined them, reading from his own device. "The station is in lockdown. The council is calling for any available hunter species to volunteer. They're offering a massive reward." "How much?" Minji asked. "Enough to buy a small planet." Silence fell over the group. Yuna looked at her crew. They were all thinking the same thing. "No," she said firmly. "We're not doing this." "Why not?" Taiho asked. "This is our chance. We show them what humans can do." This thing killed 3 teams of registered hunters. Real hunters with claws and weapons and experience. "We're just prey animals with tools, remember?" "That's exactly why we should do it," Taiho said. His eyes were burning with determination. "They think we're weak. They think we're nothing. Let's prove them wrong." Yuna shook her head. "It's too dangerous. I won't risk your lives for pride." "It's not about pride," Hana said quietly. Everyone turned to look at her. "If this creature isn't stopped, it will kill everyone on this station. Thousands of innocent beings. Maybe more." She looked at Yuna with steady eyes. "We became astronauts because we wanted to help. We wanted to explore, yes, but we also wanted to make a difference. This is our chance." Yuna said nothing. She knew Hana was right, but she was also terrified. She had seen the video. She had seen how fast that creature moved, how easily it killed. Sunwoo spoke next. "I've been studying the reports. The hunter teams failed because they used the same strategy every time. They tried to ambush the creature. They tried to overpower it with strength and speed. And?" Taiho asked. "And the Void Stalker is faster and stronger than all of them. It's built for short, explosive attacks. It kills quickly and efficiently. No hunter in the galaxy can match it in direct combat. So we don't fight it directly," Minji said. Everyone looked at her. She was the youngest, but her mind was sharp. "We do what humans do best." "What's that?" Yuna asked. Minji smiled. "We chase it. We follow it. We don't stop until it can't run anymore." Understanding spread across the faces of the crew. This was what made humans different. They were not the fastest or the strongest, but they could keep going when everything else had to stop. On ancient Earth, humans had hunted animals much larger and faster than themselves, not by catching them quickly, but by following them for hours, for days, until the prey collapsed from exhaustion. It was called persistence hunting, and no other species in the galaxy did it. "The Void Stalker is built for quick kills," Sunwoo explained. "Its body generates enormous heat during attacks and has to rest between hunts to cool down. If we keep it moving, keep it running, it will eventually overheat." "That's the theory," Yuna said. "But we don't know how long it can last." "No," Taiho admitted. "We don't. But I'd rather die trying to save this station than sit here doing nothing. One by one, the crew members nodded. Even Yuna had to admit there was no other choice. They were humans. Running away was not in their nature. Not when lives were at stake. "Fine," she said at last. "We volunteer. But we do this my way. We plan carefully. We use every advantage we have. And if things go wrong, we retreat. Agreed?" "Agreed," everyone said together. They made their way to the command center. The corridors were empty. Everyone was hiding in their rooms. The only sounds were the alarms and their own footsteps. When they arrived, the room was full of aliens. Delegates from dozens of species were arguing with each other. Screens showed images of the Void Stalker moving through the station. It had already killed 27 beings. Delegate Vaughn stood in the center, trying to maintain order. When he saw the humans enter, his 3 eyes widened with surprise. "What are you doing here?" he demanded. "This area is for combat species only." "We're volunteering," Yuna said calmly. Silence fell over the room. Every alien turned to stare at the humans. Some looked confused. Some looked amused. A few actually laughed. "You?" Vaughn said. "You want to fight the Void Stalker? You're not even classified as hunters. You're prey." "We're aware of our classification," Yuna said. "We're volunteering anyway." A large alien with 4 arms stepped forward. Its skin was covered in sharp spines. "This is a joke. These soft creatures will die in seconds. They'll just get in the way." 300 teams have already died, Taiho said. His voice was calm and cold. "What have you done?" "Nothing. You're standing here, arguing while that thing kills your people." The spined alien growled. "Watch your words, prey." "We're not prey," Hana said. "And we're done watching." Vaughn studied the humans for a long moment. His expression was impossible to read. Finally, he spoke. "Very well. If you wish to throw your lives away, I will not stop you. But when you fail, do not expect rescue. You are not important enough." "We understand," Yuna said. "Now give us access to level 12. Vaughn made a gesture. A door opened on the far side of the room. The humans walked toward it. Every alien in the room watched them go. None of them believed the humans would survive. None of them thought they had any chance at all. They were wrong.